Hello, this is Max with Direct Payment. Today I'm going to do a video about setting up the ZOTA POS system. This is a very simple process. We usually ship out two boxes for the standard POS and sign-in. The first box is the cash drawer, and the second box is the screen with the printers and the sign-in system inside one box. Okay, it's pretty simple to do. We usually ship it directly to the business location, the merchant location, and everything is set up inside already with the database and everything the way that you want it. So you just need to open up the box and then plug everything in. So now I'm going to go through the process of doing that. Okay. Before we do that, we need to set up the space for it. Make sure that you have all the equipment, the space, and everything, because it's actually take more work to clean up the old stuff to create the space. So that's why we want to make sure before you do something, clean up your space, get everything ready. I'm going to use this table for the demonstration. On here, you clean everything up where you want things to be. Make sure you have powers and you have internet. Sometimes on the receptionist desk, they also have the phone line too. Make sure your builder, whoever do your construction, put all those three in for you, so that way it's easier for you to set up the system at the desk. Okay, because a lot of new stores now that they do, there's no drop ceiling or there's no they don't do the underground stuff. So now it's just concrete or hardened concrete, and you can't really put a line, an internet line underneath anymore. So that's why I make sure they do it beforehand, because you don't want to get into that now, because there's no way of getting the wire in. Some people, what they do is they're using Wi-Fi routers to connect and create an internet line, but that's not secure enough, and that's sometimes it will disconnect. Okay, so that's why I make sure they wire in everything doing constructions, get all those stuff at the desk, clean it out, get the space for it, and let's open up everything. Okay. All right, I have opened up all the boxes, and this is everything inside. Okay, I'm gonna go through individual to know exactly what it is. This is the cash drawer. This is 16 by 16 inch. It comes with wires to connect to the printers. Okay, and this is one. Make sure that you know which side is the printers. So that's like the phone line that's into the printers, and the other end is going to it's going to the cash drawer. And then we have a key. Okay, this only comes with 3 pieces. That's it. Next is the printers. This is the SNBC printers. We have the power supply. It comes with 2 parts. So make sure that we got the internet to connect it with the routers, and then we have the USB port to connect it with the computers. Okay. The next is the sign in. With the sign in, we got a sign for customer to read for directions on what to do, and then the sign in tablets and stand all together, and then we have the power cable with the key inside, and then you also have the stickers or tape that you can tape this onto your table, so that way it won't move. Okay, we have all that in there. Okay, next is the routers. Come with 1 power supply cable, and then some internet cable, so that way we can connect all the systems together. Next is the pin pad. This is the PAX S300. The wire is connected in. We only need a power supply for this, and then we got a POS system, the ZOTA systems with the power cable in the back. It's coming 2 parts as well, and then the marketing stuff, sticker for your stores, so people will know what kind of card you're taking, 50 free gift card, and then some marketing stuff for you. I'm not gonna open everything up because that would take too much space. I will go step by step, which one is first and which one is second. Okay, I will usually I will open up the cash drawer, take that out first, and then put that wherever the location is at. Next is the printers is second. Connect that together with the cash drawer. And then next is the internet, which is the network to connect everything together. Our system always come with the routers because we want to make sure this operations is all connected in one IP address to keep it easy for everybody. And then also later on when we need to do support, we know exactly where to go, what IP address to fix, or how to log into the router portal. Okay, so that's why we have that. And that is number 3, the third steps. And then next is the pin pad to connect that in. Which is the 4th step. And then the 5th step is the POS system. And then last is the sign in. Usually I would do the POS and the sign in last because those are the screen, those are the main items, and those are expensive. So that's why I would do it last and try not to touch it too much. And that's the steps. Usually it will be in the box individually, and I just open it based on those steps. Okay? I will try to put that on the screen for you guys too, so that way you guys can tell which one is which. Now we're going to start the first steps, which is the cash drawer. Open it up from the box. You will have one wire and the key. The wire are pretty sensitive on the 2 ends. Usually it got 2 phone jack, so you gotta make sure you read the label to see which end is which. But in this case, pretty simple because the big ends will be the cash drawer and the other end is the printers. Okay. All right, and this is the second step, which is the printers. Go ahead and lay it out on the back with all the port on the back right there. We're gonna go ahead and plug the phone line into it, which is the phone line, which is the one from the cash drawer. Okay, from the bottom right there. The phone line port is smaller than the internet line. The internet line is on top. For this, the printers, we will use internet as the main source of communication, and we will also put in the USB, which is for the to connect to the computer, but that's only backup. Just in case the internet is down, you can still print using the computers. Okay, so that's what that's for. And then last is the power line. You just plug that in. Make sure that you have on the power line connecting 2 pieces together. When you hold the piece, make sure the arrow facing you, and then just push it to the port right there. There should be like a small click, so that way you know that it's connected and good to go now. It's pretty simple. Just make sure, because we have so many wires, to tie everything up real well. We need to save the USB cable for the computers. Save that to the front, and then the rest of the stuff hide it in the back. Okay. Yeah, usually with the wires, I always put a lot of time on tidying them up, putting them in places. So that way later on we can find where the source is in case something go off. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and work on the routers. All the pieces will connect into this router as the main source of communications. So the modem will provide the internet. You're gonna plug it into this routers, and from the routers, it will give communications to all the sources, include the printers, the computers, the pin pad, and the tablets from from the main routers. So later on, if there's something wrong with the internet, we know to reset this routers, or we know to go back into this router to find the source or where the wire coming from. In the back, make sure that you plug in port 1. It will say PoE in, which is which means to get the internet in to the router first, and then from there it will convert out into the other port, which will we will plug the rest of the system in. Okay, so make sure you put in the first port. Number 4, the fourth steps is the pin pad. There's only one separate wires, which is the power wires to come with it. Use Get yourself an internet cable. We usually give you the red one to go with the pin pad because you need to plug it into the red port too as well. There's 3 colors. Put in the red one, okay, and connect that into the routers. So this is how we make payment. This is the communication to the payment pin pad, okay, and then plug the power into the plug the power in right next to it, right next to all the port. There's the power right there too as well. The length of the pin pad is actually pretty far. You just happen to tie it up right there, but you can actually just open it up and then just put it anywhere you want. You can put it to the front, or so that way when the customers swipe the card, insert the card, they can do it themselves, or you can put it next to the POS system to where the technician, the one is taking the payment themselves. So that's pretty flexible. The wire is long enough to do that, okay? Okay. I'm gonna put it on the left. That's usually where I put it. Either that or you can put it on the cash drawer. So either one. Depend on your desk, depend on your reception areas, on how you want to access the system. Okay. So that's all the small pieces. Now we're gonna go ahead with the POS system, okay? This system is the 21 inch. It's actually pretty simple to plug in. The power is on the left side with all the port. You will see the power button right there in the back, and it should be right next to the power button, which is where you plug in the power. Okay. Yep. Okay. Next, you already have the printers wire ready. Go ahead and plug that into one of the USB port. You have one or two on each side, So just pick one, the closest, depending on if you put on the right or on the left of the POS system. Next is the communications internet. In this case, it's on the right of the power button. Okay, so go ahead and plug that in. This system is on Wi-Fi too as well, but we always put on the wired internet as a main source and Wi-Fi as a backup. Okay, that's all the wire we have. In case if you want a keyboard or mouse, you can actually plug it into the USB port right there. This is a touchscreen system. Most of the time you're not gonna need it. The only time you need it is when you need to change menus or add employees, and sometimes that's a little bit faster to input in instead of using the screen. But this Android system is exactly like your phone, so if you used to typing on your phone, this is gonna be the same way. Okay. Now I'm gonna clean up all the stuff in the back too as well to make sure nothing is in the way. I usually have to tie everything up. At every steps that I do, I tie it up, and then at the end, I gotta make sure that everything is covered, everything is where it's supposed to be. So that way, later on, if I'm not there, the owners or the IT technicians, they can still know exactly where everything at, so they can fix it. Usually, the whole process will take around 15 minutes. Okay, it's just the cleaning up and the tidying up the wires, the loose end. That's take the longest. Making it look good, taking more time than actually setting up the system. But it's worth it for the long run because there will be less on support, and it's easier for you to use, for the salon to use. We'll go ahead and put the stickers onto the system too as well. When it ship out, there should be a sticker on it. Okay. Okay, after we're done with the POS system, I went ahead and opened up the sign-in too as well. The power cable is right there. Just plug it in. This one already 100%, so I didn't need to. Once you're done with everything, now it's time to call tech support to go ahead and get the activation code. Okay, that's the phone number right there. This video is meant to show how easy it is to put everything together. It's only take me 15 minutes on the average. The longest thing to do is actually clean up the space. Sometimes when I come to the business, the receptions areas, there's no internet cable. Everything is a mess. I have to clean it up for them. And then also at the end where I have to tie up all the wire and the cable. That takes the longest. Why? Because later on when there's an issue, we know where to go to. We know which wire is where, which one for powers, which one for internet. So that way it's easier to fix later on. So that's why I'm so careful about that. Now that we are done, as long as everything is connected into that into one IP address into the routers. Now everything will work, and you will just call tech support. They will provide you with the activation code. If you need help to navigate or for them to go into your POS system, you click on the SOS. You can say SOS is like emergency for helps, right? And that's how they're gonna get in. You're gonna give you, they're gonna ask for your login ID. Go ahead and give them that 9 numbers, and that's how they're gonna log into your systems. And the same would over here too as well. If you ever need them to go into the system, just press on SOS and provide them with the 9-digit codes. Okay, and that's pretty much all for now. And if you have any questions, or if you want to know more about the POS system, the ZOTA systems, please give me a call. My number is 770-599-7777. Thank you so much for viewing, and I hope you guys have a successful day. Okay, all right, take care everybody. Okay, bye bye.